historic day for peace. That's how President Trump described his plan to end the war between Israel and Hamas, bring back the hostages, and rebuild Gaza.
And at the White House press conference yesterday, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu endorsed the deal. Both leaders agree if Hamas doesn't comply, Israel will complete its military operation to destroy the terror group. Julie Stahl reports.
At a joint press conference, President Trump presented his comprehensive plan for peace in the Middle East.
So today is a historic day for peace.
He thanked leaders of Arab and Muslim nations, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Jordan, Turkey, and Indonesia.
It's just a part of the bigger picture, which is peace in the Middle East. And let's call it eternal peace in the Middle East.
The proposal includes the return of 48 hostages, about 20 of whom are believed to still be alive, within 72 hours of signing the agreement in exchange for 250 Palestinian prisoners and an immediate end to the war.
Under the plan, Arab and Muslim countries have committed to demilitarize Gaza, and that's quickly. Decommission the military capabilities of Hamas and all other terror organizations. Do that immediately. And we're relying on the countries that I named and others to deal with Hamas.
Hamas terrorists who lay down their weapons will receive amnesty.
Nobody can do it like
out.
me. Nobody. Nobody can do it like me. Honestly.
Nobody's stronger than me.
Nobody has better toys than I do.
There's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
Nobody loves the Bible more than I do.
Nobody builds walls better than me.
Nobody's better to people with disabilities than me.
Nobody's fighting for the veterans like I'm fighting for the veterans.
There's nobody that's done so much for equality as I have.
There's nobody more pro-Israel than I am.
There's nobody more conservative than me.
There is nobody that respects women more than I do.
Nobody would be tougher on ISIS than Donald Trump.
Because nobody's ever had crowds like Trump has had.
There's nobody that understands the horror of nuclear better than me. And nobody even understands it but me. It's called devaluation.
The sale of the uranium that nobody knows what it means. I know what it means.
Nobody knows more about trade than me.
Nobody knows the game better than I do.
Nobody's in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure as Donald Trump.
I know the H-1B. I know the H-2B. Nobody knows it better than me.
Nobody knows politicians better than I do.
Nobody knows more about taxes than I do.
Nobody knows more about debt than I do.
Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
And nobody knows this stuff better than me.
Nobody knows more about taxes than I do and income than I do.
Nobody knows more about construction than I do.
Nobody knows more about campaign finance than I do.
Nobody knows consultants better than me.
I know more about drones than anybody.
Nobody knows much more about technology, this type of technology, certainly, than I do.
Nobody knows more about technology than me.
I know more about technology than anybody.
Nobody in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure as Donald Trump. I know the H-1B. I know the H-2B. Nobody knows it better than me.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me.
Nobody understands the president, but I think I understand him as well as anybody.
I mean, I know these people much better than you do.
I understand things. I comprehend very well, okay? Better than, I think, almost anybody.
And by the way, who knew the other side of the picture better than me? I knew it.
Nobody knows more about environmental impact statements than me.
And I think I know more about the environment than most people.
I know a lot about wind. I know a lot about wind. You know, I know windmills very much. I've studied it better than anybody.
I understand the power of Facebook maybe better than almost anybody.
I know more about renewables than any human being on Earth.
Nobody knows more about polls than me.
I know more about courts than any human being on earth.
I understand healthcare now, especially very well. A lot of people don't understand it.
I know the angles. I know every angle.
I know more about steelworkers than anybody that's ever run for office.
I know more about golf than Obama knows.
And you know, in the case of Turkey and the Kurds, I could go into a whole story because I understand it, I think, better than most.
And
I know all about it. I've known about it for a long time. I know the subject better than anybody.
I know.
This guy talks about, I know Scranton. I know that. Well, I know the place is better.
Nobody knows more about banks than I do.
Nobody knows more about trade than me.
Well, obviously, he doesn't know about nuclear weapons. I know more about nuclear weapons than he'll ever know.
You know Russians better than I do, Kevin, okay?
I understand the tax laws. better than almost anyone.
Who knows more about lawsuits than I do? I'm the king.
I know more about offense and defense than they will ever understand.
And nobody even understands it but me. It's called devaluation.
I understand money better than anybody.
I understand the system better than anybody. Nobody knows more about debt than I do.
Nobody knows the game better than me.
I know more about contributions than anybody.
Even the smart guys on Wall Street, and I know all of them, and they are smart.
And who knows more about the word apprentice than Donald Trump?
I understand politicians better than anybody.
Nobody knows politicians better than me. Who knows the other side better than me? Who knows the other side better than me?
I think I know more about the other side than almost anybody. And I understand the other side. Perhaps I understand it better than anybody else. I was the fair-haired boy. Nobody knows more about it than me.
I know more than these politicians. These guys don't know anything.
I know a lot. I know more than I'm ever going to tell you. The truth is, I'm actually a modest person, very modest. It's true.